Hello, everyone. Welcome to our tea time chat with Vito. Hello, Vito. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you doing, Nicole? It's good to see you.
Really lovely to see you as well. Now, for those of you who don't know yet why we're going live today, so we had a really great task from Disha, right? Your new community manager. And Disha has asked us that we actually introduce everyone in the team over the coming weeks and months to the community, because we always encourage everyone to share their successes and their wins and to ask some questions. So we wanted to introduce the team as well. And you, Vito, are first, right? Here we are. Now, Vito, have you got a cup of tea or coffee with you?
I have this,
Excellent.
and it's actually full of water because it's so hot in the UK today. So I got
Yes.
some water here.
Yes, guys. So if we look a little bit sweaty throughout the 20 minutes, it's because, it's really hot in London. I'm based in
You're
hot in
not
London
used to
as
it.
well. Anyone who's joining us live, please, if you can, click the StreamYard link so that we know who's commenting. And of course, if you're catching up with a replay and you have any questions, let us know in the comments. We'll both be checking it out. So, Vito, I know you don't know exactly what I'm going to ask you at all. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's see.
Lovely. Now, Vito, I was going to ask you first. Now, the first paid for job I ever did was that I played Santa Claus in my little village. My mum helped me with that and I made some money. Now, what was your first ever paid for job?
I've been kind of doing stuff or generating businesses since I was about 8 years old. Well, the first thing that I remember was that it was a thing at school that the girls were doing those bracelets from glue. You put you color the palm of your hand and then you make it into, you just kind of like do this and you get a bracelet out of it. So I couldn't figure it out. It always kind of broke, So I hired 3 of the girls in my class and I told them I'll do the selling and you'll just do the bracelets. And that was my real kind of, we sold them for 25 pence, like 25 cents or so. And we made about 50, shekels, nis kind of thing the other day, which was nice. The real kind of thing, the real job that I had, more official, was I was a mailman. That was when I was 14. I was the mailman of the city, of
Wow.
like the town. Really, we was living in a little town, and yeah, I started as just like doing the flyers, and then the guy that was above me left. And I was promoted to doing just the bills, and then I was eventually like in charge of the whole thing by the age of 15. So that
Amazing.
was my real first job.
So tell me, I have to understand it. Can I imagine it like it's like a post office and you were helping with the delivery of the posts and the
Right.
leaflets and all of that?
So it
Amazing.
was kind of like a wall of boxes, right? And
Yeah.
I was just and when you look at it from the side, it seems like there's only the boxes, but no one knows that I was walking like this from one side to the other, in like this kind of narrow space, putting all the stuff in there. Then I brought some friends, and they were putting it because I was more in charge of sorting and getting all this. So every day we got like a massive bag of mail.
Mhm.
We had to sort it out and make sure that everyone gets their mail in the town.
I love it. I can see that Disha is joining us, and she just kindly shared the StreamYard link for everyone so that we know who's commenting. I love it. Vito, I didn't know that. So you mentioned that you were doing this other job while you were going to school, where you employed your friends for making the bracelets. Now,
I had a bunch of these things, really. That was the first one, but then I did a bunch of kind of like side projects in school.
yeah.
I remember I was in the 6th grade. They have this when you finish elementary school, they do those books, right? These kind of how do you call them? The books that everyone gets like the little picture and description and stuff.
Oh, yes, like a yearbook kind of thing.
Yes, the
Yes.
yearbook, exactly. So I was the only one that knew how to draw in the class, in the whole class. So people started coming to me and asking me to draw their little drawing for the book. Space Jam was all the rage back then. So I learned how to do like the Jam kind of drawings, the Looney Tunes things, and that was another. And I started charging for it. So I already upped it from 25 pence to like $2 for a drawing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I sold like pirate music because I was the first guy in school that had like these like a burner CD, you know, like a
Yeah.
yeah. So I told my dad, you gotta get me this burner CD, like this machine. It was so expensive back then, and he's like, "No way!" I was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna pay you back. Just get me the device, and I'll make it happen."
Did
And
you make a
so
business case?
I did, yeah. He was my investor, my first investor.
Love it.
So he bought me this thing, and yeah, and I started printing out like top 40 charts kind of CDs and selling them in school. You know, just downloading from Napster back in the day.
And how did you sell them? Did you just sell them to people in your class, or were it travel that were really good and you expanded a bit?
Yeah, it started with like the really immediate friends, and I made like just like you know, compilation albums of stuff that we liked. But then more people came to me and just wanted this, and then that's when I really changed it from doing what I wanted, which was more like rock music and you know, like really songs that appeal to me, to like mass market. Let's do top 40 every week. There's a new one. It had like a cover. I was printing the covers, so really the ink on the printer was costing pretty much the same as what I was selling it for, because I was printing like elaborate covers for the CDs and stuff. Yeah, so
I love it. So you mentioned school. Now, what did your school reports used to say about you when you were younger?
That I have a lot of potential.
Absolutely right. You clearly had an
That's what
entrepreneurial
they
streak.
said. But I was never really kind of into school. I was you know, in high school I wanted to be a musician, so I was either at home playing my guitar or I was outside with friends skateboarding. When it came to like the finals, I just crunched it all, learned it on my own, and got it done. But I was skipping classes on a daily basis. Like half of the day, I was not there. Yeah, school is not for entrepreneurs, really. In my mind, I never went to college, but I do learn a lot always, every day.
And you know, in the industry, you're really well known for your top marketing knowledge and always learning. But before I'm going to just ask you a question about music, I wanted to just say, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. And Mario saying, so cool, I was CD printing for DJs, promo CDs. Excellent. So there's clearly a sort of common theme. I love it. So, Vito, now everyone knows you used to play in a rock band, right?
Right.
So if you weren't doing what you're doing right now, and you had your dream lineup of all times of rock stars and players on different instruments, your dream band, who would they feature?
I would say Robert Plant on the vocals, Angus Young from AC/DC on the guitar. I would get on the bass. I would get a guy was, I don't know if many people know him, but it's called Victor Wooten. He is like more like a jazz musician, but he's insane. And on the drums, I think I would go with Joe Bonham, also from Led Zeppelin. And they were actually friends. So and I kind of left myself out of this scenario now. Now I'm thinking about this, but that would have been the dream band, really.
Wow! And would you, if you were to do it now, would you still be doing the vocals, or would you be playing an instrument, or a bit of both?
I'll play guitar, not really the vocals. I always enjoyed the guitar a lot more than the singing. I started singing because no one else knew how to in school, you know, in high school, and so it just kind of like spiraled from there. But really, I was always more passionate about just the guitar itself.
Fantastic. And did you guys start with cover songs when you started with Rock Band? What sort of cover songs would you do?
Well, we did a lot of Van Halen stuff.
Yeah,
that was our thing. and so that really allowed me to learn a lot early on. We loved Rage Against the Machine. That was a big one. So yeah, Nirvana. At some point, we did some Nirvana songs.
Yeah.
But that was just like the school stuff. And really early on, we started doing. I started writing like original stuff. I guess from the age of 15, I was already doing like original stuff, recording them with a mic that was strapped to the ceiling, so that you can record the middle of the room, into a cassette tape. So
my goodness. It's really taking me back now to the 80s. I love it. Vito, I'm going to try to just a little bit bring it back into what you do now, and you're going to be loving this kind of link. So you run your rock band, and I know you were in charge of promoting them online, because you and we had an opportunity to chat on Instagram a while ago. Now, what were some of the things you learned from running a rock band and applying it to how you now run your business?
Right. So surprisingly, a whole lot. The thing that I took from this, first of all, it's very hard to promote music because no one really cares. Basically, like it's like it's commoditized to insanity, and no one really, like there's so much competition. Everyone picks up a guitar and wants to be a rock star. So that was like a huge challenge to break through the noise and to do things that were outside of the box. So we were doing all kinds of campaigns that were like guerrilla marketing, and I actually learned that for the band. So I was reading books and I took courses, and I was watching movies and documentaries about different business types of stuff and brands, how I did it, and then applied it back to the music, and then applied it back to the business now. So we were doing and that was anything from filming videos, learning how to edit, learning to build websites, learning how to run campaigns on Facebook. Building a community was a huge part of this. Product launches, because in music you do like mostly it's product launches. You launch albums, you launch tours. I learned to be organized about things because running a tour, everyone thinks you're just drunk all day long and stuff. But really,
are you not?
No. On the first one we did.
You live and learn.
And then we learned that we almost died like 10 times. We can't do it like that. We got to do it proper. So from then on, it was like, there was a binder and it was spreadsheets, and we knew exactly when we were going. There was a schedule for everything. I learned about management because I was the leader. So I was, managing a band. It's a lot more challenging than managing a team because no one gets paid. Right. So
yeah, not unless you like really make it, right?
Yeah. So only at the end, like we're kind of paying expenses, but really we never got to a place where we were making like real money out of this thing, which was one of the reasons why I went into web design and started building websites from the back of the van, so I can actually make a living while doing what I loved. And so yeah, you got to keep everyone pumped, everyone doing stuff when you're not paying anything, and it's all about the vision, the promise, the dream. It's all about that. So now within the company, that really helps. Knowing about making sure that you have that compassion when and you bring it out when needed. Really, everything comes back to it. Running a band was like a proper business that just had no income. That was it.
And actually even more challenging, right? Because you had to do all the touring and just keeping it together. I think you mentioned that you were all in really close spaces all the time. So
yes,
no, I'm really glad you entered the world.
Living together. You do contracts. You do everything. Really.
Well, it's really fascinating insight, and I really love it that on your Atarim About page you share some of that story and some of the images so that people can really see what you look like as a rock star, so to say. Now, you mentioned your team and how important it is for you that you keep everyone motivated. And look, you brought me on as your social media coach, and I can definitely say they're all really motivated and really excited about what you're doing. Now, when you look for new team members, what are some of the criteria you use? And I guess I'm asking you this because I will be interviewing them in the coming weeks. So what do you look for in your new team members?
So the first thing I'm looking for, even before I talk about technical stuff, it's more about the person, because we got to work together. We got to communicate with each other. It has to be a good match to the culture. And that's something that I didn't put any emphasis on early when I first started hiring. It was all about I need this to be done. This guy knows how to do it. Let's get him. But really, it's all about relationships. You're building a relationship that is supposed to be like a long-term relationship with that person. So making sure that the values match was very important. And to do that, we had to have values and find values. So that was a really good step that with what was WP Feedback and now Atarim, I did very early on, learning that from the agency where we didn't have like really structured values per se, even though there was a team. So the first thing that I look for is compatibility, if there is a good fit. The second thing I look for is for communication skills, because we're working remotely from all over the world. You got to make sure that when you send a message to someone, they reply back. Not always it works. And then only then I go into technical stuff, and we do quizzes based on the specific required position. So we kind of make sure that we did that. And another good thing that I learned is that you wanna fire fast and hire slow. Really, that's really good thing that I always keep in mind. If it's not a good fit, it's not going to be a good fit. There's no point dragging it. So might as well just cut this, let the person loose, let myself go of any responsibilities to that person, and just go on and find someone that will fit.
That makes sense. And I love it working with your team. On Fridays we send each other gifts and we say, hey, what are you doing for the weekend? And it's fun, and I think that's really, really important, because obviously everyone has got tough jobs and we need to have fun as well. So that gives us a really, really good insight. So if I may just ask you another business related question. So
sure.
The community and the users are growing, man, in so many different countries. What makes you excited thinking about Atarim in the next 6 months? What have you got in store?
Ooh, in the next 6 months, there's loads of stuff coming.
I know.
So there's really a few features, or the more than features, they're like basically tools of their own that we're going to be introducing over the upcoming 6 months. And I don't know if I can say, I'm not going to say what they are, but they're mind-blowing, and it's going to allow us to move up to the next level. Really what we're looking for, and I think this is interesting for people to hear about this, we're looking for the perfect product market fit. And that's been a journey that even though we had a good traction early on and the company is running, I want it to be a lot bigger than this. And in order for us to get to this goal, we have to nail the product market fit to a place where people visit the website or hear about this and they have no choice but to join. So we're experimenting with all kinds of different stuff. We had a rough patch in version 2.0 in the beginning of the year. That's already way behind us. But that was a big learning exercise for me as well, to make sure that we're doing things slower than what I would like them to be, so that when they're out, they're solid.
I think people love that about you, your energy, Vito. So that's exciting. And I think, yes, we should not give away more details because, obviously we want people to hear from our marketing channels, because the person we're interviewing next in this coffee and tea series is actually Jerome, right? Who is going to be responsible for a lot of our marketing. And that's going to be on the 22nd of July, which is next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. UK time. Vito, before...
Yes,
yeah, go on.
So Jerome has been with me for years now. He started as a freelancer building websites for clients on his own. And then he joined me at the agency as a web designer, quickly became a copywriter because of my English. I couldn't write the copy for clients. So I got him, Jerome, maybe you can learn how to be a copywriter. And he's like, sure, yeah. So I got a course and he learned how to do that. And then he started doing marketing, and he found his passion more on the marketing side. And so when we started the product, he is the only person that moved forward from the agency to the product, or until now, that's the only person that stayed really as we were growing, as we were scaling in a different path. What I love about Jerome is that he's adaptable. He can learn things, and this is amazing in a startup environment where you're just doing this all day long, putting on different hats. Just became great friends for years now.
Oh, I'm really excited to get to know him better, because Jerome and I will usually talk about work-related things. So I can't wait to interview him next week. So Vito, final question. So you are obviously now a working parent. What does your ideal weekend look like with your family?
So I still work 6 days a week. So I have one day out. So the way that we kind of structure this with the newborn is that I'm in charge of the morning. So I wake up when she wakes up, 6 a.m., sometimes 6:30, sometimes 7. So I'm there to pick her up when she's this, and I do all the morning routine. Then now the nanny comes, and then she kind of takes care of her for the rest of the day. And my wife is in charge of the evening, so I get to work longer hours in the evening when needed. And then on the weekends, I have basically one day off. So the Sunday is the day off that we're spending with family, and we're hanging out a little bit. The ideal day is just staying home, really. Sitting at home with the family, going outside to the garden. But yeah, not more than that. Watching a good movie.
Oh, it sounds amazing, Vito. So I hope you have a really lovely weekend, and I hope our community has an amazing weekend. And again, as you said, anyone watching this on replay, please, any questions you have for Vito, should he have long hair, should he have short hair, tell us in the comments and we will come back. I promise, Disha, I'll keep this to 20 minutes, short and sharp. So Vito, thank you so much. You've been fantastic, and obviously have an amazing weekend.
Thank you. Good to see you, Nicole.
Excellent. Bye, everyone. Bye.